ZeroSpace, the upcoming sci-fi real-time strategy game, is close to a public demo, so let me tell you why I think you should play it. For starters, the collection of two kinds of resources is mostly automated, letting you focus more on combat, using faction-specific abilities, and figuring out the optimal army composition. Another interesting idea these developers have implemented are control towers. These are found in the middle of the map, and you can capture them once you clear out neutral creeps. Once they are yours, you start receiving experience points and level up your faction, which in turn lets you unlock and upgrade powerful support skills or talents, which are boosts to your units. These you pick from a tech tree, and every faction has a different one, as well as different support skills. While the main part of a tech tree comes from one of the 4 factions you have chosen, the last part depends on the mercenary faction you chose during match setup to complement your faction. These mercenaries also start with their own building next to your base and offer their units for you to recruit a few minutes into a match. All of this might sound like a nightmare to balance in player versus player game mode, so that is exactly why developers at Stuntland Studios include professional esports RTS players. These people play each iteration of the game and lead the design process of these units with the goal of achieving balanced gameplay. Another thing developers are aiming for is being able to offer you cinematic gameplay in both the storytelling single-player campaign and the cooperative multiplayer once the full game is released. The campaign itself is planned to have 13 main story missions, 14 hero loyalty missions, and 40 side stories, while in the multiplayer you'll be able to play against the AI and in 1v1 and 3v3 ranked PvP matches. This should keep everyone happy, the single player only crowd and the multiplayer enthusiasts. Hopefully even giving those of you who are just testing PvP waters a way to learn the game before meeting your first human opponent online. Do tell me your preferred way to play these kinds of games in the comments below. There is an extra cooperative multiplayer mode in the works that will include a shared persistent galaxy, but I do not have much info or any examples of how exactly that will work out. More on that in the future videos on this game, which I will link up here on the right and in the description below, along with other similar games I have showcased before. Since ZeroSpace has been successfully kickstarted with over $500,000, we can see that there are definitely many gamers interested in playing and paying for it. This should translate into a lively player base with no shortage of different skill levels to keep multiplayer fun for all. The current playable version of the game offers many of the elements I have mentioned so far. As the Protectorate faction, you start with a main base and a single builder unit, along with a mercenary camp close by. The 4 resource patches next to your first HQ building are where you get Hexite, the blue resource. Since there is a unit limit and a population mechanic in this game, you build additional supply platforms to raise that population number and be able to recruit more units. The builder unit isn't consumed or busy with construction, and you can give it orders for a new building construction project immediately after the first. The top bar shows your faction level as well as available support abilities. Using these costs power, which is gained passively over time in the current version of the game I was playing, but in the future it will be generated by combat as you attack your enemy. As for control towers, you have to send your hero and any additional units you recruit to clear out the creeps next to them, and then to capture them by having units in their local range. They will then start earning XP for you to level up your faction and unlock talents and skills for your faction's tech tree. To gain more of the second resource, flux, you have to recruit harvesters, which automatically go out, find and harvest that resource. You have a choice of several hero units, each with a different set of skills right at the start of each match. There will be a total of 14 such heroes in the full version of the game. The number of buildings for recruitment and upgrading of units is very low in ZeroSpace, so it won't take you long before you can field a full army and upgrade them to be more powerful. Similarly, the number of units per faction isn't very high, and each building will give you just a few recruitment options. The size and firepower of these units is wildly different, as are their utility options. Some let units enter them and fire from inside, others can change their main weapon system or jump around terrain features with jetpacks. Now, I have already explained what is going to make this game easy to learn, but I should also tell you what will make it hard to master. These are the most advanced gameplay mechanics that you only start to notice and use once you have the basics down in your muscle memory. Things like body blocking of projectiles and using line of sight to your advantage in individual combat situations. These are the min-maxing elements that win or lose tournaments for professional players. There are more such elements, but I think it's probably too soon to go into them at this point in the game's development. What is important to mention at this stage of development, however, is all the advanced tech solutions the developers at Starland Studios are going to implement to make this RTS feel like a modern game. Things like advanced unit pathing, very feature-rich replay system, preventing units from blocking each other as they move, swarms actually properly surrounding enemies, and many other more complicated and technical things I'm honestly not knowledgeable enough to explain, but you can learn in developer interviews and promotional videos using the links below. So let's talk about the factions and mercenaries now. The faction I played for this showcase is the Protectorate. In the game's universe, that is the military in charge of protecting human worlds. Besides highly trained and armored soldiers, they use a variety of combat vehicles that fly or drive, and also mechs. The Grell are a totally opposite faction in almost every regard. They are a symbiotic alien insectoid species which brings its own plants and suppresses native flora of the planet it attacks. Their Koru plant basically helps them terraform alien worlds to fit their needs. Needless to say, all their units and buildings are biological in nature and vary in size and types of attacks, while they can even transform into more powerful versions of themselves. Third faction is the Exol, which started off as an advanced general AI for a long-gone unknown alien race. Now they build bodies for their intelligence and experience everything the physical world has to offer, including warfare. Their artificial nature lets them combine units at any moment, even mid-fight. This increases their power level and changes their utility for the player. Exol units also split and assume their original forms, dissolving from the bigger forms. The Legion is the last faction in ZeroSpace. It is a gathering of religious fanatics who have the sick idea of making aliens more advanced while hating all synthetic life forms. Their basic units are called Trolls. Their huge tanks can be customized and upgraded for a price just like the commanders, their form of heroes. Unlike other factions, you can field all their commanders at the same time. I am sure some of you will jump to draw parallels with factions from other sci-fi games, but I would ask you to wait and actually play the game's public version before you start tagging those factions and comparing them to the ones from older games. You might be surprised what some simple upgrades do to unit functions and tactics in ZeroSpace. As for the mercenary factions, there were originally 6 of them, but one of the Kickstarter stretch goals offered a 7th, and that was reached, so there will be one more of them in the future. The Marran are a xenophobic military faction that protects their world and so hardly goes beyond it. Their focus is on security, so they play much like the Protectorate main faction and with mainly heavy vehicles. The Valkaru are a species with a hunger for war, be that with others or in between themselves. Their units are Flamewalkers, Shock Troopers, Hounds, and a huge bot with a pull ability. A primarily scavenger faction are the Dread Raiders, who live on the edges of known space. They are the Robin Hood faction of the universe, so they field raiders, snipers, and different vehicles. The Koru is a sentient plant network that thrives in aquatic conditions and can manipulate its environment, even causing earthquakes or rerouting rivers. Natural allies with the Grell, they are in symbiosis with them in both conquest and terraforming. The Arandi are wielders of a mysterious form of interdimensional energy, which lets them warp matter and live almost like immortals. While no race of conquerors, as they have outgrown such ideas, they are unmatched in military technology know-how. Chakru Kingdom is a faction which uses advanced biotechnology to manipulate bioenergetic substances as to enhance their body and mind. Their technology is a fusion of science and mysticism, with units which can heal or hurt other units and even summon ghosts. Do take note that not all of these mercenary factions are available for play at the time of making this video, but hopefully soon. I have personally enjoyed trying out this alpha version of ZeroSpace and see great potential for multiplayer and skirmish. Will the campaign and other gameplay modes be as good? Time will tell, and I will be here to give you my opinion on these features. This game is just one among so many other real-time strategy games which are going to make 2024 a year of RTS, and you can learn about many of the other ones using the cards on the screen. Thank you for watching and happy gaming!